Two Sheds Gabby here, folks. I'm going to try to embark on something that I've kind of been putting off. One day last year, I was out at a coin store, and they happened to have a whole bunch of these coin books for a really cheap price. They're used. I guess he had bought collections and taken the coins out, and he just had a whole bunch of these books for sale really cheap. And I picked up, I think, three of the Lincoln Cent 1941 and newer. I think it goes up to like 75, something like that. And I picked up, I think, two from 1909 up to 1940. And I had stuck a few pennies in there, but I just put them away, and I haven't. None of the coins that I've gotten in for months have I even thought about putting in these books. So I'll have to go back into all my rolls and start taking them out. But I wanted to eventually get this done. This is the 1909 to 1940 book that I already had, and even that is really lacking. All of these coins came just from coin roll hunting, and I haven't gotten a ton from the 1909 up. But I do have some in rolls that may even fit in here. I haven't, maybe I've just overlooked them. And then the rest of them that I can, I'll put in these two books here. My 1941 and newer that I already had, the only thing that I'm missing in it is a 43 steel S. Just haven't come across one of those. And then I've got these three new ones that I can, and I've got a lot of pennies from the 40s and 50s, and I guess I'll have to go back into one of my copper boxes to get some of the newer stuff to fill in at the ends here after 1958. But I'm going to start pulling them out and seeing what I can fill in, and then I'll make a note of each one of what they need, and I'll keep it just here on my work table. So hopefully in the future, when I'm going through pennies and I pull out wheat pennies and maybe even a few of the newer ones that need to be filled in, I can keep up with it a little bit better. But it's just going to take several hours to go through everything that I've got and see how close I can get to filling up, and then I'll just have to go from there. It's going to be a big undertaking today, but I gotta start sometime. I'll be doing this, and I've already put in a half dozen since the last little clip. I'm going to do this the same way I do the Jefferson Nickel books. I'll have my primary book, my secondary book, and then the last book. So what don't go in that book will go to this book. If it don't go in this book, then I'll go to this book. And so hopefully one day, this one will get filled first, and then second, and then third. I'm sure that's probably what everybody does, but I'm just making it known. This first tube of the old ones from the 30s on back was like up to about right here. It was close to full, not completely full. And I've had all of those fit in the two newer, but none of them fit into my primary book, unfortunately. But that's all right. I'm getting coins in their slots. I pulled all the rolls out of my wheat penny roll box. Here's my 1950s. Here's my 1940s. And this is all I've got to go through for the 1909 to 1939, I guess. 40. So I'm not going to get those books real full, but I'll do, it'll be fun to see what I've got. Hey, folks, check this out. I didn't even know I had this. I've never had one before. It's a 1909. Unfortunately, it's not an S. And there had been a sticker or something on the back, like some fingernail polish or something, all around the back, and I picked enough of it off with my fingernail to reveal that there's a VDB down there. I've got a 1909 VDB. How cool is that? In all these years, I've said I've never had a 1909 VDB. Wow, that's exciting. Right there in my primary book. I never thought I would get one of those. After going through a roll, I put a check on it, and so in the future, I can come back and go, have I ever gone through these? And I'll see the check and go, yeah, I have checked these. I don't know how much of a difference you all can see from just looking at it a minute ago, but I got quite a few coins in. This is the secondary book. And then this is the third one. That's quite a few coins. And so I'm pretty tickled. I'm off to a halfway decent start. Maybe in another 30 years, I'll be getting close. I thought I had another roll of Lincoln Memorial S cents somewhere, and I finally found them. But all of these are like two rolls down there of 2009 Lincoln Memorials, and 2009s. And then I've got rolls and rolls of extra fine from 59 all the way up to 82, I guess, of extra fine copper. A couple more rolls here. So when I find the ones that are really nice, I've got a bunch of them. One of those rolls in there with the extra fines is oddball pennies. So there's probably some really cool things in that roll, but I don't even remember what they are. I've just rolled them up a year or two ago. Over here is the box of tubes of things that I just, as I'm going through nickels and pennies, whether it be Canadian or Memorial or the old nickels, and I'll just stick them in those tubes until I've talked about this until I get to them later. Anyway, I had this tube of S pennies, and I've got everything for these three books. This is just the S Memorial, by the way. And so it's really just your 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. That's all these books hold. And so I have all of them I need for these three books, except for one more 72S. So I'm going to go through this roll and see if there's a 72S in there. Surely there is. So now in these three books, I'm getting into my 1940s, and we'll see how close we can get to getting all of that. I did happen to have 143 Philadelphia, and I already had a 43D that I had found a while back. The other two books don't have any steel, but I don't think I have any more steel around me here, except for one pack of mint condition. They're still sealed in the pack, but I won't break those out. After I had filled the slots for the majority of the 40s, or at least over half, then I just went back and made a list for the book 1, book 2, and book 3. And now I just sit here and look at the date compared to the book and then put it in the right place, and it's way faster. I've found all of the 40s now that are Philadelphia, except for the steel. So now I just go through the stack real fast and look for mint marks and then go from there. It's way quicker now. But I'm only finding like 1 or 2 per roll at this point. Hello, folks. I'm back. You probably didn't even know I was gone. It is now the next day. It's Sunday night. Pretty busy day, but I'm finally back to going through this. I got about 10 more rows of the 40s to go through. This is how many slots I'm still trying to fill. And then we move on to the 50s, and that's going to be a big job there. So I'm going to get back into these and see if I can find, maybe it'd be cool to get all of them at least from one of the books, but we'll see. It seems like I'm getting 1 or 2 per roll to go into a slot. I'm down to just 2 needed in this one. A funny thing about this one here, I actually had 2 pennies in this one that I needed on here, and then I recounted how many I needed to, I thought I'd need 2 to put back in, and I counted them. It's like, oh, I had put 2 too many in this one in the first place, because now there's 50 pennies in there. I've now gone through all of the 40s coins, and not too bad, except for the steel. I knew I was going to be missing out on some of those. I only need 3 more to fill in all the slots for the 1940s in these 3 books. There's a 45S in 2 books and a 41D. Other than that, it's just the 43s that I need. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to move on to the 50s. Oh my, what a job. Well, I've gone through a few rolls in the 50s now, and I don't need any more 50Ds, 1950s Denver. For some reason, 90% of my wheat pennies from the 50s are Denver. Guys, I've gone through 6 rows of the 1950s over here, and I've only got 8 more to go for the 50s, and I've got 16 more rolls to go through. Most of them are Ds, but I'm hoping that they'll show up in these rolls. That would be very cool. I am going through roll after roll, just looking for a 54 Philadelphia and 55 San Francisco. Man, it seems like out of all the wheat pennies I've gotten, I would have gotten at least one 55 San Francisco. So far, not one. I went through all of my rolls of 1950s wheat pennies. I did finally find a couple more 54 Philadelphias. I never found one 55S. I can't believe I've never found one 55S. Wow. Well, I've still got the memorial stuff to go through. I got all the S's in there, but I've got the P's and the D's that I've got to go through, and I'm not going to do it tonight. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Good night. Good morning, folks. We have sunshine. We haven't seen sunshine in days and days. It's like, I don't feel like I have to go out and injure somebody or commit a crime now. I've got sunshine on my face. I'm going to take just a couple of minutes to get started this morning this is my most recent box of copper that I've accumulated, and I'm hoping to get most everything filled with that. And anyway, I only have a minute or two to really get started because we are going to look for another car today. And if I get one, I'll take a picture and show you. Well, we just got home without a vehicle, broken windshield, sounded terrible, unreal. It's perfect. We're going to look at another one in the morning. Good grief. Now, as I'm looking for the memorial pennies, this first book only needs one more, a 1960. So I've written things down on the paper again. I don't even have to look for anything with a mint mark. So if I look at a penny, I'm just pulling out a handful, rummaging through them. So mint marks just go away. And so I'm winding down. I'm hoping in this first box that I've pulled out that I'll be able to complete my do the whole bit. I'm hoping. I just finished all the memorials for the first book, so now I can put this one away and just concentrate on the other two. Very nice. I am down to two 1962s and one 1963, and I will be completely done with the memorial sections of these three books. I just finished book 2. Now I just have one book to go with 2 coins that I need. All right. So tedious. I'm just looking for 2 dates. But I did find 2 wheat pennies that you guys told me about that I missed. I was going to just leave them, but since I'm here, I found them. I went through this whole box, and I'm still missing a 1963 Philadelphia, and I just don't feel like getting into another box. If you guys see me pass up a 63 Philadelphia without thinking about it, please let me know. I'm just going to stop right here. I've only got a few coins altogether to fill all 3 of these books, and I'm just going to start watching for them. I'll keep this list out while I'm hunting, and hopefully it'll keep my mind attuned to what I'm looking for. I'm going to stop right here so that I can get started on another penny or nickel box here in a little bit. So hope you enjoy this, and we'll see you in the next video.